Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Otis from Mars coming at you. My brother hit me up the other day and he was saying, where are all of the rigged NFL videos talking about 2022, looking for the narratives, what's coming down? Let's start breaking it down. And I didn't see any, so I decided to get this video going for you all. Starting off today with an introduction. Just want to tell my story here, how I got involved in considering this idea that maybe these games that we put our heart blood on the line for aren't all that simple. Any rate, I awoke from this guy. Shout out to Truth Be Told and the videos he's doing. He's done a fantastic job. If you haven't watched his videos, check him out. All I'm doing here is just sort of furthering the work he started. Um, Basic idea is that the NFL, these games that we're watching, are scripted. They're organized towards certain ends. So they're not open competition, but rather they're manipulated with results in mind. My story is I was a Raider fan since I was 8 years old. I got a Raider shield tattooed on my soul. Emotional guy with the ups and downs, tantrums in childhood, tears when Madden retired, painful years in Oakland, the whole deal. And to sort of wake up to think that these games aren't really these competitions, but actually the end is pre set up. Really kind of leaves me wondering about all of this sweat I put into it. Still a Raider fan, of course, but really looking at it differently. Had a real wake up moment with our guy. I'm gonna put a link below. Figure out how to do that. Truth be told, I just came across this video and he's breaking down the Raiders Super Bowl versus the Bucks. Was that 37, 38? Not too sure. But basically, what he's saying is this game is rigged. That it was decided the Bucks would win, and he kind of walks through the story of Callahan changing the game plan at the very end, and we'll show some clips of the Bucks kind of saying, "Hey, we practice all of these plays." And then he adds in that Gannon is somehow part of the scam. And Gannon, whoops, what does Gannon do? Gannon throws the game. One of the worst Super Bowl performances in history, coming off MVP season, 5 picks, 3 pick 6s. When does anybody throw 3 pick 6s? At any rate, that's the story. But what's so kind of compelling about it is in this video, Tim Brown and Jerry Rice. I mean, totally. These are the top tier players in history, and they're basically saying, "Hey, yeah, this game was rigged. This was a weird thing going on here." And they really break down to in the video how Barrett Robbins and the pressure put on him by changing the game scheme at the end was a contributing factor in him sort of losing it.
This is what happens. We win the AFC Championship. We don't have a weekend in between, so we got to get right to it. Thankfully, they had prepared for us to win the game. So Monday morning, we get a booklet that says game plan to a championship, right? And we all thinking, oh, Lord, please, their defense averaged 280 off on the defensive front. Our offensive line averaged 350, 340. Please let this be, a smash mouth type game plan. Open it up, bam, it's like heaven. Smash mouth, smash mouth. We're going to go Wheatley and Crockett, and we're going to smash mouth, and we're going to, beat these little guys up. Friday morning we get in, and we have a brand new game plan. I'd never had a coach 2 days before a game change a game plan. And to change the game plan so drastically from we're not going to smash them out, we're going to try and throw the ball 60 times versus this guy.
Where you going with this? Tim Brown came out and said head coach Bill Callahan essentially sabotaged the game to let the Buccaneers win. And you agreed.
And I had played in Super Bowls with the Niners and stuff like that. What you work on all week long, you carry that into that ball game. So we just felt like, It was weird that he made that change, because all week long we talked about pounding the ball, running the ball with the running backs that we had. Then all of a sudden that Saturday, we decided that we were going to throw the ball.
So then if there's ever a smoking gun, check out this clip of John Lynch, who's mic'd for the Super Bowl. This is some great stuff here, because it really shows Lynch's experience. And for those who are students of psychology, it's real interesting, these coaches' responses. And one of the questions we'll be getting into is who's in and who's out. These two coaches seem to be possible suspects.
They're too predictable. They're too predictable. They're too predictable. We know them. Monty, on that last one he checked, remember how Gruden was telling us before they called 2 plays? That's what he did. So when he went to the audible, all he did was that. They're calling the 2 plays. Yeah. Mike, every play they've run, we ran in practice. I know. It's unreal. Man.
So at any rate, that kind of woke me up and got me just kind of thinking about it. There's tons of videos out there, and I'm not one who's going to get all pissed at you if you believe the NFL's real. And I'm also not one who's going to be like, no, every single thing is rigged and every missed tackle or every bonehead play is somehow on purpose. So I think there's a lot of gray in between. We're really looking for a smoking gun. Let me break down kind of what my projects are here. One, we're looking for a smoking gun. I still think that this work on the Super Bowl, just because it's close to my heart, it was horrible. I went to every game that year and went to the playoffs, and we beat, who did we beat? Not Houston, but, I think it was the Oilers or Titans or wherever the hell they were at that point. And go on to the Super Bowl, big deal, huge party. We're all in, Raider fans, and we just had this devastating, depressing day, and mood shot for a few years. And then the Raiders never get back, and so that wound lasts. But to think that that game was somehow set up is a little mind-blowing. At any rate, our project here. 3 things. We're looking for a smoking gun. We're breaking down some of the stuff. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about how I think it works. And check out all the videos. I think that really we won't put together a team of brothers and sisters just breaking it down, having, discussion. I don't think anything's that clear, but we get a body of evidence together. I think the case starts to look pretty clear when you look into it. So we're looking for a smoking gun. Also, I'll do a whole separate video on this, but if it's scripted and if you can predict it, and I'll sort of talk about how you do that, then why not bet on it and make some money? So that's sort of the test here. Like, can you predict something based on understanding what the NFL's doing and make a buck? And then likewise, I'm a fantasy guy, and this year I'm going to try to integrate into my fantasy play this idea of the rigged NFL. I think is becoming the kind of hashtag for the whole thing. But really what I think we're talking about is there's a narrative. So the NFL, it just kind of break down simply. The NFL has a product. They want you to see it. The viewership's kind of going down. They make a hell of a lot of money, really based on, are you there? Are you watching the television? Are you showing up to the games? And they're trying to make it more entertaining. And so there's sort of this bend over the years, especially more recently, to make these games more exciting. I don't think that the rig, a lot of people are like, oh, they're trying to rig it to beat the spread this way or that way. I believe they're rigging it so that the spread is in play till the very end. If you look for that, you'll sort of see either the spread or the over-under on the points is going down to the very end. And then a lot of the games as well, just in terms of the money line. The win-loss is going down to the end. Why? Obvious. Follow the money. They want you watching till the end. Old NFL, a lot of these games are decided in the second, third quarter, the third quarter, the fourth quarter. They're just sort of garbage. And if you got a nationally televised game, some team's blowing out the other one, everybody leaves, goes to bed early, and we're good. And so it's really rigged towards getting you to watch it to the end, and that's obviously advertisement dollars. I think the whole emphasis on betting, and there's such a huge cultural shift with this amongst mainly us dudes, just betting on the NFL, and the NFL I don't think is rigging. I mean, obviously there's people rigging things all over the place in terms of money and betting, and that's complicated beyond my pay grade. But what I think they're doing is just they want that engagement. They want you caring about the fantasy players. They want you caring about your bet and all your prop bets and all your over and under, and they want you watching to the end because you got money on the line. And so the riggedness is really just about entertainment. It's very much like the WWF, big time wrestling. It's kind of the same thing, but I think it's done a lot more subtle. And obviously, there's a lot of very real play all over the place. I'm not saying every play is decided or anything like that. I think it's a lot more subtle, and maybe we'll break that down in a different video. All right, so there's the intro. We're going to be building pieces on this. Appreciate you checking us out. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, and tell us what you think. If you think it's a bunch of BS, love to hear from you. If you're starting to wake up, it's an interesting story. It's a big deal. Believe in this. I've been 55, I think 40 plus years thinking this is real. And so it's a bit of a paradigm shift. But hope you all well. Peace.